y'all have been asking me for is finally here today, and I'm going to be showing you some projects I've made with my jigsaw. Yes, I've had experience with the jigsaw in the past, but it had been a while, so James kind of gave me a refresher course, and that's all it took. Oh my goodness, I started looking around and trying to figure out what I could make, and I'm going to show you a couple of things I've made, and then stay tuned to the end because I have a special announcement. So that sounds like something you're interested in. Let's just get to it. Okay, so I have this cross and I love it, but this color doesn't always go with all my seasonal decor. So I decided I was going to try my hand at making my own. So what I did, I just laid it down on a thin piece of Luan and I just traced it out with my pen. And I would suggest, if you're a novice at using the jigsaw, that you start with something like I did, that's kind of like, it's not too detailed, but it's got more of your straight cuts. And all I did was just trace all this out, and then we're going to go out to the garage and I'm going to cut it out with my jigsaw. Now, if you'll notice, the grain of my wood is not lined up with my cross. It's kind of going at an angle, which is fine because I am going to be painting this. But if you wanted to stain it, you might want to pay attention to how the grain of your wood is going with your project, personal preference. So there it is, all traced out. And now the fun begins. Okay, so I've laid it out on this table in the garage. And you want to be sure that it's hanging over the edge and your saw is not going to cut into the table. And you just take your time and you just keep rotating it the best you can to get at the angles that you want to get at. I don't really know how to explain this to y'all, so maybe just kind of watch what I'm doing. But if you're new at this, definitely, you want to be very careful. James taught me. I had some experience with the jigsaw. James gave me a refresher course. And yeah, I just went to town. And the good thing about this project, it does not have to be perfect. And we are going to fix up any of our little boo-boos with our sander. So the main thing is just get your cuts and just be very careful while you do it. Continually rotating that, keeping it off of the edge, hanging off the edge of the table so I don't cut into my table. There you have it. It's that simple. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to kind of sand it and kind of work out the rough edges around my cross. I'm sorry about that cord dangling. I did not realize it when I was filming it. I do apologize. But you're just going to use your sander and just kind of work it and kind of smooth it and just kind of, straighten out any boo-boos that you have. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And the good thing about this particular project is I wanted it to be more rustic. So I'm just using my sander and just, this is where you get to be the designer of your masterpiece. And then after you get through doing around the edges, I give the top just one more final sand. And I cut out a couple at the time. So now the fun part, decorating. I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm going to go over the front, being sure to, get around the edges, paint it on, wipe it off, wax on, wax off. Just want to give it a good cover. And I am paying attention to the edges because we are going to do this front and back. You're going to do the antique wax. Now you can use whatever color. I've done this. You're going to see a couple pictures where I made one for my daughter, and I used a very dark gray. It's almost a gray black for the base. I've done one where I've used like a sage green. So, this can be any color, whatever you choose. Actually, you can do it any way you want. You don't have to do it exactly. I'm just showing you a technique that I learned that I'm excited about. So once I get all this done, then we're going to move on to the next technique. You definitely want to cover your back, because if you're hanging this on a door, especially if there's a glass, you're going to see the back of it. So you do want your back of your cross to look finished, you know. You might not want to do the same technique that you do on the front, but you definitely want the back to look finished as well. Okay, the new technique, I'm so excited. This is a little candle. And my friend Teresa at our Greene Acres told me, she said, you have got to try this technique. I've watched several of her videos, so I was anxious to give it a try. So what you do is you take a candle and you rub it on the areas that you want it to be distressed. And you just rub that candle. And this is not really the exact candle I should have used, but it's what I had on hand and it worked. But I'm going to definitely get me, I didn't realize I didn't have any candles, real candles. So I'm just going around, and everywhere that I want it to be distressed, I'm putting that wax on it. And then once you wipe, I had to wipe off that. Then I'm going to cover it with my Kills chalk paint. I'm just going to go over it. Now, what I learned doing this is you don't need to go over it twice with your paint. You just want to do one rough coat, because like I said, we are going to distress this. So thank you, Teresa. I definitely love this technique. I will link her channel down below. I'm sure y'all all have heard of her. If you haven't, you need to go check her out. Okay, so now I just have a little block, and I'm gonna use my drill to drill the holes where I wanna put my hanger. So I just kind of eyeballed it. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm gonna be using jute twine as a hanger, so it'll work out. So I'm just drilling my holes. I kind of sized my drill bit with how thick the jute twine was going to be. So I just kind of eyeballed that. And then I'm just going to kind of wallow it around to make the hole a little bit bigger, like that. And so once I've done that, now I'm going to move on to the fun part. Okay, so you're going to take any kind of card. I have the CVS Rewards card, and where you put that wax, you are just going to kind of run your card over it. And do you see how it's distressing it? It just looks aged and like it's been out in the weather, and just, I love it. Love it. Now, what I do after I do this part, I do take a fine grit sandpaper and lightly go over it just so there's no rough edges. Now I'm going to take my jute twine, and I get quite a bit off because I'm going to double or triple it up to make my hanger. So I'm just doubling it up, tripling it up. I think I ended up like tripling it up. Anyway, you do you. And now I'm just going to cut it, and then I'm going to take my painter's tape, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the ends, just kind of so I can get it through the hole where I drilled my holes. It's kind of like a needle, threading a needle through the hole. So I'm going to do that, and doing this tape definitely helps with that. So I just used that. I kind of made sure my tape was kind of pointed on the end, and that way I can kind of pull it through. And then I'm just going to kind of double knot it, like you see me doing. I did the one knot, but I decided I would do the double knot just to kind of make it look a little beefier. So I do that to both sides. Now, this part is the fun part. I made this bow. I'm not a great bow maker, but I did make this bow. And now we're going to use it to decorate this cross. So I have these zip ties that have the little hole in them. I love these zip ties. They are perfect for what I'm doing. I'm just going to tie me some jute twine in there. And we're going to use this to decorate the cross. Now, the good thing about this cross, with it being kind of this neutral color, you can change out your bows for the different seasons, or as your decor style changes, your bow can be that piece. Like you can put a Christmas ribbon on there, you could put a spring ribbon on there, 4th of July ribbon, whatever you wanted to do. You could use your bow to change this up and have looks for all seasons. So I'm just tying it around the back. And I love this. And I do clean up the back of that. That's just where all those sawdust and everything for me drilling the holes. but I just kind of knot it, and then I just made a bow, just kind of so it would be pretty in case it was seen with a glass door. Cut off that, and there you go. We're gonna fluff up our bow, and we have a beautiful little decor piece for our door, and I love it. This is one of my favorite little things to hang on the door. And so this is what it looks like hanging on the door with our bow. This is the close-up of it being all distressed. This is the one I made for my daughter. See how distressed it looks? Love it. And this is what it looked like on her door. So now I wanted to show y'all some other things I worked on. This is the Mississippi's that I cut out. And this is what I thought was going to be easy, painting it like the American flag. Boy, was I wrong. I will never do another one like this. This was so much work, so time consuming, but I love the way it turned out. But again, I don't think I'll ever do another one. I ended up giving this one to my daughter. I love this, but I wanted it to look old, so I went over it with some antique wax, and this is how it turned out. So what do you think? I'm so excited to be reunited with my jigsaw, and I'm having so much fun. Now for the fun part, the giveaway. So if you've been with me, I was talking about doing a giveaway and really didn't know what to do, what to give y'all. And somebody told me I should give away something that I made with my jigsaw. And I thought that was such a good idea. So what I've done is I am giving away this cross that I've made. It's navy with white distress with some antique glaze on it. I have made this 12 loop funky bow. I'm going to leave the slack back here. You can droop your bow, you can tighten your bow up however you want to do it, and then you can cut off any excess, so it will come with excess jute twine. It will also have two hangers. I'll have a hole here and a hole here like the other ones. Let me show you. It will come with hangers like this. This way you can shorten it if you want to. Just tie a knot, cut off the excess, or you can leave it as is. But y'all, we're not finished yet. I'm also going to include with this giveaway a gift card, a Visa gift card. You can use this Visa gift card to maybe buy some, accessories to go along with your new door decor. If you want to buy some pillows, a rug, some plants, whatever, of course the gift card will be yours to do whatever you choose with it. But I did want to kind of have like a little theme, if you would. And I thought that would be cool to include the cross and the gift card that you could use. Now, how to enter is so simple. I wanted this to be simple so everyone would have the opportunity at a chance to win. I'm sorry I can't give away to everybody. I would if I could. Y'all mean so much to me, but it's just not possible. So, to enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, and that's it. I will have a random picker pick a winner. I will announce the winner on May the 31st at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I will put that on my YouTube community tab and give you the opportunity to contact me with your shipping information. That's it, y'all. That's all. If I have not heard from that person by 5 p.m. the following day, I will then pick another winner. And of course, all this information I will put on my YouTube community tab. All the information on how to enter will be listed in the description box below. This is just something I want to do to thank you so much for supporting my channel, being here. I love y'all so much, and I hope y'all really enjoy this little giveaway. So with all of that being said, I hope y'all have a great day, and until next time, bye y'all.